That's great. The waters are pristine clear, the sky is blue, and the air is pretty healthy than ever. Animals are on the avenues, birds are flying everywhere. But the humans are relatively nowhere because the world is following the lockdown. I'm talking about COVID-19, the greatest catastrophe in human life on earth since the Spanish flu. Hi there, good afternoon and good evening to you all. Welcome to the Editor's View. Today we'll be talking about COVID situation in South Asia. You can post questions, make comment and share your thoughts in the show by going to the Facebook page live. I'm joined by a set of guests from Bangladesh, India, Nepal, Bhutan and Pakistan. Let me now introduce my guests here with me today. Mr. Nazmul Ashraf is the chief editor of TVN24 from Bangladesh. He is a veteran journalist of the country. His role in different capacities. He was a chief editor of Jamuna Television, head of news of Dipto and SA Television, executive editor of Independent Television, head of news of RTV and Channel On, and he was news editor of NTV, formerly chief reporter of the most reputed English daily in Bangladesh, the Daily Star. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you.
And we have here Dambar Shahu from Nepal. He is the chairman of Karnali Television. He is the former CEO of National Media Academy, executive director, Padma Media Group, and CEO of Business Plus Television. Welcome to the show.
Namaste and thank you. Thank you.
All right. We have another guest, Jackson Dukpa, chairman of Global Village Connection from Bhutan. Welcome to the show. And of course, we are supposed to get a reporter from Business Bhutan, Mr. Kinley Yontan, and another editor of Metropod from India, Gautam Sharkar. We're supposed to get the guest from Pakistan, Mr. Syed Bukhasha. He'll be joining some point of the show, and we are highly expecting. In the meantime, we are getting phone calls from our other participants, Gautam Lahiri from Delhi. Before I formally begin, let me give you a wrap-up of COVID-19 situation of the world. According to World Meter today, the COVID virus cases 35,85,711 infection and deaths. It is 2,48,771 and recovered 11,61,994 according to Meter. And the different views we're getting from Johns Hopkins University. The university says the infection today 35,24,429, recovery 11,32,553, and death as of now 2,47,838. Let me now start with Bangladesh part. Today, Bangladesh from IEDCR, Institute of Epidemiology and Disease Control, says in Bangladesh today the total 10,000 COVID virus surges, infection 10,143, and recovery 1,210, and death 182. The source I discuss IEDCR. This is the scenario of COVID virus in Bangladesh. Let me know, the eminent journalist, the veteran journalist from Bangladesh, chief editor of TVN24, Mr. Nazmul Ashraf. Can you put your thoughts on Bangladesh scenario today?
Since it's a global problem and it's very unique, as of today, there has been no vaccine, although scientists are trying their best across the globe to find a remedy, to find a vaccine, to find a medicine. Meantime, scientists in United States have already got one, temporary at least, remdesivir, which has clinically been proved that the serious patients are getting a benefit from it, and the FDA has already approved it. But like USA, like any other country in the world, like the countries in the Europe, the situation is still alarming. Although in most of the countries where the infection started earlier, the number of deaths and infections are declining, and due to this trend, they have started reopening parts of their countries. parts of their business, economic activities, etc. But coming back to Bangladesh, since our infection started late, meantime, many other countries got their peak and the situation was the worst, but we are still rising. Our number of deaths and infections are still rising. But due to the reality that we need to
All right. All right.
since there's a debate across the
All right.
world.
Yes, yes. I've given you the collective. Yes, sir. I have given you the collective, the scenario of the world, and have given you a glimpse of Bangladesh. You know, so far today, where coronavirus infection, surges touch to the highest in a single day. It is 688 in Bangladesh. This is the highest since the March 8th first infection we identified. And at this point of time, Bangladesh is reopening the markets ahead of Ramadan and Eid al-Fitr. And we have, witnessed today separate gazette notification about the virus lockdown extension, at the same time reopening of the market and shops. How do you think this decision of the
That's
government?
the point I was going to reach. Since other countries have started reopening, while the death and infection rate is declining, but ours is still rising. At this stage, I think, and the experts think also, it's not wise to go for reopening everything. But what the government says, in like many other countries, they need to keep the economic activities, business activities restart, or at least keep it functional. That's why at the same time, while they are containing the pandemic, they are reopening factories, shops, and transports, etc. But the expert says, and if we keep in mind the facts in other countries, Bangladesh hasn't reached in that stage to go for reopening. But our government has started it. There's a pressure from business community. There are pressure from people who are not being able to earn, who are suffering from many other problems, including earnings, including.
All right, all right. You identifying a bold question where there is a question of infection or starvation, which one to choose? It's really hard and tough question among the people, among the those of the communities who really depend on their hardship. So that's a very big question nationwide. Are you putting your right thought logically in that point, in that impression?
The debate is everywhere. Life or economy, life or keeping the country functional. So there has to be a balance of the two. But of course, life has to be preferred, and the utmost importance has to be given to keep people out of this infection and treating the people who have already been infected. But I think Bangladesh needs more time to keep people at home, maintain social distancing, and other activities which is risky for the spread of this virus. But I think it is not the right time, and it is very risky step our government has taken as far as reopening some of the factories.
Yes,
Transport.
Nazmullah Shah. Yes, the question still prevails whether there was a true lockdown or a virus shutdown. That's a
Yes,
debate. We'll have a different thought on
the
that. You know,
lockdown,
so far, a couple of my friends from Bhutan
lockdown
and
our
Nepal is
government
there.
did
Let me have a quick wrap up. Yes,
our lockdown was
yes.
not that.
Let me now have the different scenario from yeah, different scenario from our neighboring nations. We have Dambar Shahu, chairman of Karnali Sanchar Network, it's Karnali Television. Dambar, can you tell us or give us the update from the Nepalese perspective, the number of infection, the number of death, and also the number of recovered people, how the Nepalese government are addressing this COVID virus, the coronavirus situation? Dambar.
Thank you, Mr. Mithunji. Thank you. Yes, already, of course, Mr. Najmul sir, he's explaining. He just explained all over the world what's going on in the world scenario. But if I talk about the Nepal, yes, we can say we are too lucky in that particular situation. Till the day we have 75 infected cases till the day, and there is 16 recovered and zero casualty. We can say that's why I'm saying you ki we are lucky on that perspective. In Nepal governments, we have 7 provinces in the whole country, and the different province they are planning, and they are doing different strategic different planning. And till the day, Nepal government the already segregated more than 300 billion for the economic package for the whole issues and all these things. And I think last and also if I talking about the economic activities and other things, we Nepali people are locked down from last 41 days. Yes, we can say we are too lucky. We are more sensitive. Comparisons India, comparisons even Bangladesh, even the Pakistans. So still until the day we don't have any casualty. There are even 60, 75 cases, infected cases, but the increasing ratio is a low. We can say it's not high. So that's why we can say we are too lucky compared to other South Asian countries. Yes, Mithun.
So what your health department is saying about the infection in Nepal, it's 28 million people there in that landlocked mountainous terrain, that country. So
Mhm.
does that COVID virus, the coronavirus, start to infect people, or is it going to the community level? Is it the transmission? Is it still individual level, or started to infect the community level?
No, no. Here is
At
actually
what
we can
ratio
say is
right now in Nepal?
here is we can say it's the individual level. The infected ratio and infected scenario is individual level. There is no any community level. The governments of Nepal and especially health ministry, even they are demanding, they are they are what the drafting, and they are demanding some medical equipment from China, from the India, from Singapore and other countries as well. So we have more than 170 isolated hospitals, and government of Nepal they already prepared all these things. Nepal governments, Nepal army, Nepal we can say Nepal police, they are strictly doing such as things to prevent further disease and further COVID-19. And we Nepali people, we all are very curious and very sensitive. We understand the sensitiveness of the COVID-19, and that's why people they are not going to outside of home. They are staying properly there at their home, and they are maintaining social distance. In Nepal, in if I talk about the Kathmandu, and it's a city, there is few shops. We can say there's a few small shops. They will be open in morning time and whole the day and night. The all the shops and all the what that mall and film and schools and everything, they are almost closed. So I think after Nepalese government they decided after 1 week or within a 10 days they will be open slowly. For first step, they will open for the small market and the individual
Well,
labels, and
we must have we must have a talk on that segment about the reopening and lifting the restrictions on the lockdown and other what should I say, rules imposed to address or to fight COVID. Let me now go back to Jackson Dukpa, who is the chairman of Global Village Collection of Bhutan. He is a social worker and trying to build up a great network worldwide. Jackson, welcome to the show. May I ask you, the country, the landlocked mountainous terrain, the majestic Himalayan terrain, Bhutan, is a country of 7,54,000 people. It's less than 8 lakh people right now. So far, I know, still to the moment, 7 people found affected there in Bhutan. Out of those, 5 are recovered. Still, no, there is no casualty. I mean, zero death. How how Bhutan is addressing COVID-19.
Yeah, I must say
Jackson.
that Bhutan is a very small country, less than 1 million people. And as I've been saying to other people as well, because many people have been asking me how Bhutan is coping up with this COVID-19 crisis. I must say that Bhutan is doing at its best. The government is very much active and they are very much engaged in coping up this situation. So in Bhutan, I think we are being this situation is being monitored and addressed very well, and the government is working around the clock to address the situation, and the people are also cooperating. Bhutan is not in a complete lockdown, but the borders are being sealed at the moment, and we have, like you said, a few cases. I think I don't have information from the official sources, but what my friends have been telling me that so far there has been 7 cases and 5 have been already recovered. So people who are coming from outside, who've been working or studying outside Bhutan, they are coming in. They have been coming in, and they have been quarantined for a period of I think 3 weeks. So Bhutan is doing very well, I must say, and even the people, they've been very cooperative, and they have been making cash contributions as well as voluntary physical contributions. So I must thank our present government that they have been doing very well, and even our beloved king has been so much concerned and have been taking care of the people, and as per the instruction of our beloved king, some funds has been set aside to address and help the distressed people. So I must say that I've been very lucky to be a Bhutanese, and so far, although the situation is hard, and especially the tourism industry has been hit hard by this crisis. So even the people in the tourism industry, like the guides and everything, so they are now, taking immediate actions to engage themselves in the agriculture sector. So they are now in the process of organizing themselves to taking up farming activities, and the government is in full support. So I must say everything is going
Jackson, I'll again Yes, I'll again get back to you. Let me now go to Nazmul Ashraf again with a question that Italy, Jordan, and Thailand right now they're moving to ease lockdown as deaths slow right now. But that's the very first question I pose. The very first question I ask you is when the coronavirus infection in Bangladesh is surging, that moment we have decided to relax this lockdown or the general coronavirus shutdown. What do you believe that, believing or considering or based on what bold points or confidence the concerned authority are right now considering to relax the lockdown, I mean the coronavirus general vacation ahead of Ramadan or Eid al-Fitr? What's your experience? I mean, what different view you have got analyzing the fact from the media or coming across the analysis of the experts, the journalists, and other people and so forth?
In fact, since the disease is common,
What are the
it's
basis of
common, and the consequences are also common across the world. So we have seen in all other countries, almost in Europe, uh, America, Australia, Africa, Asia, Southeast Asia, although 1/4 of the total population of the world living in South Asia, for this fact, the situation could have been much worse than the West, but we're lucky that hasn't been so far. the government of Bangladesh.
All right.
Well,
Do you believe, being a journalist, we have read about a lot more columns and a lot more information have come across. We have huge immunity system, stronger immune system we have, and of course the temperature fact because of the social media and a lot more, mainstream media. We have, come across a lot more information about. Do you think all these things are happening miraculously? I'm not being, very much hypothetical, and I'm not speaking like a hyperbolic one, based on the fact that is it really working? If I came to you in line with your expression that we are lucky, why we are lucky? As because of the temperature fact, or we have grown immune system in ourselves stronger? Which one?
temperature, weather, climate, all these are not proven as far as the top experts of the world. So there has been a lot of predictions
Yes.
which have not been proven as of now. So it could be a miracle. It could be our immune system. It could be the blessings of the Almighty. But our reality could have been much, much worse than the West. The best countries in the world, like USA, like Germany, France, Italy, and all other countries who have much more ability in terms of everything, they are not being able to contain, and they have lost
Yes.
a huge number of their people, of their population.
Yes.
So we are lucky. We are lucky. The case in Bhutan, I was watching a story before I joined. They are the luckiest. They have been one of the most successful countries in the world who could have contained the virus, its spread, its infections, deaths, etc. I think the people of the country has been so serious to go by the instructions of the government, to go by the rules advised by the health experts. But in Bangladesh, we have watched it since the very beginning. A lot of people who don't care about this, who don't go by the instructions of the government, the doctors, the experts, because they think their living, their works, their other needs are more important. So that was the risk factor. While government was trying to be very strict on implementing the restrictions, now since the government has gone for a liberal policy, reopening a lot of things, those people will be more and more aggressive, not to go by the rules, restrictions, and precautions. So there's a risk here. Still, why government is taking the risk or going for reopening all these things? You mentioned the Ramadan, the Idul Fitr ahead, but still, there are a section of people among the businessmen who has a sort of influence or pressure, whatever, on the government that might have led the government to think we have to do both. As I was hearing some of the ministers, secretaries, government officials, even health officials, they are saying government has to think everything, not only the health factor, but worldwide, the health factor is the top priority, the number one priority, even sacrificing all other things. But in USA, we have seen, starting from its president, Donald Trump, a lot of governors in many states, and a lot of people who are very unruly, and they are not ready to follow anything because they think other things are more important. And people here in Bangladesh, there are same kind of people,
Yes.
but still,
Yes.
the people
I may,
less in Bangladesh.
Yes, sir. May I add a few points with your expression? Is that Bangladesh is a country where you find 1,265 people per square kilometer. So the catastrophe, the unexpected scenario could have happened, has not happened miraculously. And based on the fact that the government or the concerned authority is very confident of reopening shops and malls and let the people do, the people who are hand to mouth, let us open the door for those actually who are running for bread and butter. All right, another point you have added very successfully is about the success rate of Bhutan fighting COVID. But you have, slept one point to add about the Vietnam. The country of Vietnam is not that much rich country, but the country only witnessed 300 infection, but there is no casualty. The country where you can find barely 300 hospitals, which are not well equipped. But Vietnam fought coronavirus successfully, as per WHO's remark about Vietnam. So you have a lot more things to learn from Vietnam about fighting COVID-19 as USA country, the country, the epicenter of political might. The USA successfully failed to contain coronavirus in 2020, which is called the greatest catastrophe in human life on earth since Spanish flu. Do you want to add some more point about as far as coronavirus and the USA, United States of America, is concerned? Can you hear me?
Who are you asking the question?
Yeah, I'm repeating the question. We saw huge success of Vietnam. Yeah, I'm asking you the question, and everybody can participate definitely.
Okay.
You can take the floor. You can take the floor, and participants, other guests can also take part. They can ask you. Also, they can share their views. Yes. You can also answer. You're welcome.
In fact, those countries who have managed it well is because of strict measures, early measures, timely measures for keeping people at home, for maintaining social distances, and also the steps regarding the infected people, regarding treatment, regarding other taking care of healthcare. In this regard, I must say, it is not only. In fact, you have to give importance first, not to so that people are not infected. So preventive measures are more important because countries like Bangladesh don't have that capacity of healthcare system across the country to treat millions of people. So if we can prevent it, if we can keep the people out of this danger, then the situation will remain under our control. But the country who have been successful so far, I repeat, their early actions, strict measures, and of course testing for as many people as possible. In that regard, Bangladesh is far behind of testing cross-section to a lot of people. As of today, you know the numbers. So we don't know how many of us have already been infected unless we can go for a mass testing.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, Mithun. I want to add something.
Yes.
I want to add something. Yes.
Yes.
So regarding the COVID-19 and regarding the healthcare systems and all these things, yes, I understand and I accept that there is another big issues is populations. Bangladesh, yes, we understand comparisons of populations that is too much high. Even the comparison is in Nepal, in comparison in the Bhutan, that is the population is too high. So that's why this is the major problem and this is the major issues to get protect and to the preserve from the COVID-19. This is the another issues, one issues. And if I talk about the Bhutan is a small country, no doubt. I think there is more than how much? It's 15 and something, 12 and something, 15 lakh population is right, Dukpa? I think that is the 12 and 15 lakh populations.
No, 7, almost
how much?
7 lakhs.
Okay, so this is the another issue. The Bhutan government is able to do because there is the small populations, low populations, and there is the government is very systematic. There is a king is very loyal and very remarkable, responsible for the people and all these things. That's why the Bhutan is capable and able to do all these things. If I talk about the Nepal and all these things, situations, Nepalese people they are less infected, but the what happened? The 50 plus cases they migrated from India. If I talk about the Nepal, there is no one local cases. Whatever we seen, whatever we found, Nepal government found the cases. All the cases they are the infected persons they migrated from India, not from Nepal. Actually, we found more than 20 or something cases only from Nepal. Else cases they came from India actually. So this is the scenario actually. So this is the main problem of open border and all these things that we are facing the problems of these things are. Mithunji.
All right. Yes. Jackson?
Yeah.
Jackson, can you hear me? Yes.
Yeah, I can hear you.
What more you have to add with this? Yeah. What more you have to add with Dambar Shahu?
Yeah, if I may share my opinion about this. Can I continue?
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
please.
think
Go ahead.
related to your, question that you had made about the failure of USA to contain this crisis. I think from the reliable sources that I've heard, I don't know what instructions have been given to the people from the government of the USA, but from a few people that have heard who are staying in USA, I think the people in USA they are not adhering to the government's instructions and instruction of the authority whatsoever. So, in case of Bhutan, as I've been telling, Bhutan exists more as a society. So, whatever instruction is there from the government, the people are very much, like adhering to this instruction. So, that's the kind of culture that we have, and that's why whatsoever instruction that the government is facing, so the people of Bhutan they are adhering to it and they are following it very much. And now the shops have to be closed by 7 o'clock. So there's also every the business person who are running these businesses they're closing by 7 o'clock, and even the restricting the movement, social distancing, everything. So everything is every instructions what they rendered by the government are being followed by the people. So of course we have very less population. So that's why I think that's the most important. If people in the USA also follow the government instruction, if they follow everything, I think it would be much better.
Okay. We have already, welcomed Kinley Yonten. Kinley, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Kinley of, yes. Okay. Today you have covered the COVID press conference in Bhutan in the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare there, you told me so far. So what latest you have found there in the press conference? Can you share us?
You mean the update of today?
Yes, today's update.
Uh,
We are talking about the COVID situation in South Asia. South Asia is collectively fighting coronavirus together. So, as a part of that, as a member country of this Asian region, definitely the majestic Himalayan terrain, Bhutan is fighting coronavirus well. So, you have covered that even today in person. So, share us the latest today you have found so far.
okay, thank you. Thank you for your question. As
Yes.
we
Yes,
drive
go ahead.
to stay ahead of this novel coronavirus, yes. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, please. Yeah, yeah. Go ahead. We can hear you. Go ahead, please.
Hello, there. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead,
As
please.
we know, as our country strive ahead,
Yes, yes.
Stay ahead of the spread of the novel coronavirus. His ministry taking guidance and the government introduction with a high level of the preventive measures all along, all along, all the ministry, 10 ministry we have in our country, all the ministry, including opposition leaders, civil servant, private sectors, all are united together. United. They all came together and fighting.
Okay.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, go
I think
ahead,
there is a
please.
distraction in technology.
Yeah,
I
we can
can't
hear you.
get
We
you.
can hear you. Yeah. You're okay. You're okay. Please go ahead. Continue.
Uh, okay, I will give the sum up of my. Okay, okay, thank you. Latest update in Bhutan.
We have
We have
already
only
heard what you
seven
have
cases,
said.
seven confirmed cases. Okay.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. And what else? What else? What other, measures have been taken in line with the WHO
I'm not
protocol and the
able to get you.
guidelines of the
My voice will
government?
not
As we
connected in
know,
you. Uh,
all right,
uh,
perhaps you are facing some problems. Let me go back to Nazmul Ashraf again about talking the fighting coronavirus here in South Asia. Nazmul Ashraf, so far we have in the world right now 8 billion people, out of which in the South Asia, in the Asian continent, in our continent, in Asia, we have 4.46 billion people, half of the total population of the globe, where we witnessed the bitter scenario, the humanitarian disaster fighting coronavirus in Europe and America, where the region, Asia itself, fought. It's really not that good time to make a swift comment that it has really fought well, because the wave still not finished, right? But as far as we have come across, it is 58 days. So how do you analyze the situation being an Asian? How did the Asian people fought coronavirus? Though it is not the right time to make the comment.
Asia fought much better than Europe and America.
Yes.
Although it originated in Asia, in China, in Wuhan, but the worst scenario is now in America and in countries in Europe. Although Italy is overcoming, situation are getting better. Spain had been the worst. It has also started improving. Now America is the worst in terms of everything: death, infections, containment, testing, treatment, everything. Because being America, who have all the capacities, why they have failed, why they have been the number one in terms of everything in this corona pandemic, it is because of lack of proper steps, timely steps, and it is because of the federal government of USA led by President Donald Trump, who acted late, who didn't bother, who didn't care, who didn't even accept science, medical science, experts, he didn't listen to. And that's why America has been like so. Despite the federal
All
government's responsible role, many of the states have been able to contain this crisis because of their own decisions by the governors, I must say. When coming back to Asia, still Asia is much better in comparison with Europe and America. And there has been some good examples in Asia, like South Korea, like Bhutan, like Nepal. They have set some good examples of being successful. Like New Zealand, like Germany, they are good examples. But in Asia, we know SAC leaders, meantime, had a video conference for cooperations, for sharing, for a lot of other things too. And today, Indian Prime Minister talked to NAM leaders, but collectively we're not doing anything. It's only talks. Since there is a lot of commonness in South Asia, and we have a very good platform, SIRC, which is almost dead
Yes.
now. At this crisis, it can be revived and made more effective. But India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Nepal, Bhutan, Maldives, Afghanistan, if you look at these countries separately, they're doing much better than many other big and improved countries, developed countries in the West. So there's a ray of hope that we are doing better, but still, it's not over. All the experts
Okay.
are unanimous on this prediction, including the experts in WHO, that the pandemic may return, it may linger, and the climax has not yet come. So we have to be prepared for the next phase. And of course, there has been the worst impact on economy, on global economy, national economies. And for that, every country are getting prepared to overcome this. Even starvation, famine, these are also being predicted. So we have to look ahead. And for Asia, for South Asia, we have to share, especially those who are doing better. They have to share their sectors of success with other countries like Bangladesh.
All right. Dumba, you there?
Yes, yes, of course, sir. I want to add something. Yes, there is only way. There is only way to fighting against the COVID-19. So between collaborations, each others. So even Bangladesh, even Bhutan, India, and Nepal. We are, yes, of course, we are neighboring country, right? So there is only way. There is one way to fighting against the COVID-19 or coronavirus, to mutual collaboratively, to mutual what that initiations. This will be the only one way to fight against the coronavirus. I think if I talk about the South Asian countries, yes, of course, Nazmul sir says, he just said, yes, we are strong. We are so lucky, and we are good comparisons European and American countries. Yes, of course, America is yes, no doubt, the America is too rich, and comparatively even the financially healthcare system, even the everything, they are the full equipped countries. But the 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 why worst scenario has been created over there, over that America, particularly Spain, and we can see other countries as well. This is the all about the why created these situations, because of the people, they don't follow the government rules. People, they don't believe the governments and all these things, right? So we South Asian countries,
All right.
we are, we are. We follow the rules and regulations whatever governments will announce the what that rules and regulations. Yes, especially we South Asia, especially Nepal and Bhutan, even the Maldives, Sri Lanka, yeah, we are able to fight. We are doing very good as per the other European and American countries. That's good. That's good, I think. So one day, that's why. So one way to fight against the coronavirus is mutual collaborations. Is second. Second is the only situations. Second is the only option to fight against the coronavirus, I think.
Okay, let me now go back to Jackson Dukpa again. What the points Nazmullah Shah and Damba Shah has emphasized on mutual collaboration, cooperation, coordination, okay, and resource mobilization after all, and the political will is required to unitedly fight the coronavirus or other pandemic in this region. What more different views you do have, Jackson? After having your views, we love to go back to the discussion and sum up the show, and we'll call it a day.
I think
Yes.
I'm very much happy that this COVID-19 has brought many governments to realize that we are lacking in terms of collaboration. So I have seen, like from this crisis that there's a much, like expected collaboration, but we need to do more in case should there be any such pandemic in the future. I think we need to create a well-developed collaborative system, collaborative platform for government to government collaboration. And beyond that, I think now what I'm starting is a GVC movement where I'm thinking of a new world order where everything, not everything, but most of the thing should be managed by the people and for the people. So I'm creating this by the people and for the people movement under this GVC banner. So which means that now the people of different countries must come together and unite ourselves and address all the global challenges. I don't think that any government of the day in any country is enough to address all the problems of the society. So I think now the people of the world must realize that we must come together and we must collaborate together under one platform. And that's what I'm looking forward, so that in the future that we
And that
together
security as unity is really a great strength. All right. Now let me go back to Nazmul Ashraf again to sum up the discussion. As we have heard so far, we talked about the South Asia, how addressing the coronavirus situation. We have a lot more weakness, lack of coordination, decision making. People are burdened with many more questions because of lack of coordination, and many more things. What you were well known about this. If there, had not been coronavirus, we could have not seen many more things in our people, in our region, in many respective governments, of course. So, what would be your sum up comment about today's discussion, how we are actually doing, what we should do? You actually have put your thought on it. Do you see any difference that Asia in days to come can step up differently? What are the bold points? What can help you, encouraging you, and can make you confident on?
As told by the experts across the world, the best experts, the best scientists, researchers, doctors, three T's have to be followed by any country, by every country. That is test, trace, and treatment. So as regard test, countries like USA is also facing problem with testing kits. In Bangladesh, we haven't go for that much. If we go for mass testing, we need testing kits. And of course, the doctors, health workers, nurses, to protect them, we need medical equipments. And these things, our government say we have enough. But if we go for a larger scale, that is not enough. In that case, Asian countries can share it, or they collectively can ask for these things from China or other countries who produces. So testing, the most important thing, still now in all the countries, whatever is their situation now. And
All right.
we, Asian
All
countries, must
right.
go for mass testing and then tracing the contact of the infected people and then treating them as much well as possible. For treatment, we have our limitations, and in that case, we can also share and ask for countries who can give us those things.
Yes, I wish I could listen to you some long. We really are running out of time. As we have started our program by giving the global fact in short, I'd like to sum up this discussion by giving you the global fact right now, which can help you, which can energize you, which can lead you to be confident by the countries begin easing coronavirus lockdown globally. Italy, Jordan, Thailand moved to ease lockdowns as deaths slow. As I mentioned, Italy eases coronavirus restrictions after 60 days. And Trump promises vaccine by 2020. In the meantime, you have already heard so far, he reiterated claims that China was responsible for the severity of the outbreak and the said business in the US needed to get going once again, despite its increasing death toll of more than 67,000 from the coronavirus. Another hope is we see the ray of hope here. World leaders launched a pledging marathon on Monday without the United Nations, without the United States, to raise at least 7.5 billion euros. It is approximately 8.2 billion for research into possible vaccine and treatment for the coronavirus. Organizers included the European Union, non-EU states, Britain and Norway, as well as Japan, Canada, and Saudi Arabia. They aim to raise funds over several weeks or months, building on efforts by the World Bank, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and wealthy individuals. These are the real hopes to fight COVID-19, the coronavirus outbreak, which is we call the greatest catastrophe on human life in our since the Spanish flu. Gentlemen, thanks indeed for joining me. Jackson Dukpa, Chairman, Global Village Connection from Bhutan. Dambar Shahu, CEO, Karnali Sanchar Television, is Karnali Television from Nepal. Nazmul Ashraf, Chief Editor, TVN24, veteran journalist from Bangladesh. And we had our friend Kinley Yamton, a business Bhutan from Bhutan. We missed two of our friends from India, Gautam Lahiri from Delhi Press Club, and one of our friends from Pakistan, Sayyid Bukhar Shah, because of the internet problem. Thanks indeed for joining us. We hope to join you again sometime with this particular show, and have really very good time. Good evening and good night to you all. Stay safe and maintain the lockdown. Good day to you all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much,
You
sir.
all are welcome.
So is this finished?
Yes, we are finished on air.
Oh, so, on air. So let's discuss
So it is
on
informal. Yes.
Yes.
We